Hi everyone, Jaymes Mansfield here bringing you yet another video. Oh my god, I'm welcoming you back into my closet as we discuss the things I would have wore on All-Stars 8. Yes, this is episode 2, the Net Gala. Now this was all things fishnets, all kind of outfits that incorporated all kinds of netting and especially fishnet. That was the thing they really emphasized in the prompt. So this outfit was inspired by Fredericks of Hollywood catalogs, but before I get into the intricate details of what wins this costume, I have to give you a small backstory. Now, the original outfit I planned to wear got destroyed on the way to Drag Race. It tore, it did not work, so it was unsalvageable. But being the queen that I am, I made sure to prepare backups for certain outfits, the Net Gala being one of them. Now, thankfully, Ernie took me shopping before this, and I actually had bought some backups for this runway from a thrift store here in Las Vegas. And only in Las Vegas are you gonna find hot pink catsuits with marabou trim on them. Now, I really like the design work on it, but they were both smalls. There were two, and I got two smalls, so this poses a problem for someone of my frame because I essentially had to take them apart piece by piece and make a completely new pattern work out of this. So what I did was I took apart the catsuit and using the sleeve, I flipped it upside down so that it would create like a bell sleeve. And as for the catsuits, I'm not a small. I'll just admit that to you guys right now. I am not a size small. So I ripped them apart, basically took all the seams out and basically Franken-stitched this whole thing together to create a catsuit that would fit me and my hip pads. And I knew I had to dress this up. It came with those pitiful, marabou feathers on the collar and on, the sleeves and everything. I actually had these really fabulous pink boas that I'd gotten that were really expensive. They're like $500 for 12-ply boas, and I just had these sitting around. I had them for brunch shows, I just used them to walk around with. It hurt, but I sacrificed them and I cut them up to put them on the sleeves, on the collar, and on the ankles. And as it was all coming together, it was creating this fun Fredericks of Hollywood kind of look, the very vintage 1960s catalogs. If you look through them, you will see this catsuit. And as it was all coming together, I was actually really starting to like the way it looked, and it was super screaming out me already. It's I love Fredericks of Hollywood, and I love those really fun housewife things they would buy to feel a little naughty for their husbands. That whole backstory is starting to form for me. I knew this wasn't gonna be enough, so I knew I had to elevate this a little bit more. The feathers weren't gonna sell the whole thing, so I had a bunch of jellystones from Santee Alley and a bunch of Hot Fix pink rhinestones just to bring them with me to stone, because on my downtime, I wanted to stone. So I spent a whole day stoning this goddamn catsuit from head to toe. And basically pink jellystones. I think I threw a couple ABs in there, and Hot Fix and magenta, just to make sure it gave a nice 3D effect, so it wasn't just a plain catsuit with design work on them. Now, as I put it on, I realized this thing is see-through. You can see everything. So if I wore it as was, you're gonna see all of my body padding and all of my corsetry. So I am actually really proud of myself, but this time around, I wasn't messing around, okay? I brought everything I needed. I had a full suitcase of just scrap fabric in case I needed to make something last minute. I had flesh-colored power mesh, as well as flesh-colored 4-way stretch spandex, and I had the cheapest pink stretch fabric from Walmart that I had for years. It actually was a I'm ashamed to admit this. It was a tablecloth I used during my wig videos. I brought a little bit of my YouTube channel into this runway. It's that really gaudy, Walmart brand 2-way stretch pink spandex fabric to make the underwear with. It was all one bodysuit. And when you look at the undergarments and everything, they had the bullet bras that combed out like that, and the panties were really the selling point for me. I had to make those panties that were really low on the crotch and were flat going across all around on the butt. If you look at old vintage bikinis, they always had a cut, they always had hemlines like that. And it really takes you back into an era. It's oh yeah, that's 1960s. And thinking back, I was they had to have their butt crack hanging out all the time because it just rode so low. Now, when it comes to accessories, I was really proud of this. The hair I actually had prepared beforehand. I wanted to do a big hair roller kind of hair. So I bought a bunch of pool noodles from Five Below. And I remember Chris March had done a wig like this years ago for his Halloween collection for Target, where it was pool noodles stacked on top of each other to create roller set in the hair. So I thought I could do something similar to that, but on a cage wig. So I had a cage wig laying around already that I'd stripped from a previous wig. You may remember it from the Bottle Blonde collection. It's that cage wig. So I took it apart and I started to glue all the foam rollers on top of it and wrapped synthetic hair all over it so that it would actually all coordinate together with my base wig. And as an added detail, I had a little ponytail switch that I put in the back. So it gave a B-52's 1960s hairdresser kind of vibe, or a lady that just got out of the chair. Now, I need to tie this into Net Gala somehow. So We had bought in basketball nets. I had Rit dye with me, hot pink Rit dye, but the problem was like I could not for the life of me get these basketball nets to match. Like the most pink I could get them was like a baby pink, like a rosy pink. Like they wouldn't get hot pink no matter what I combined with it. Like the fabric just would not take. So eventually I just had to settle. It's like, look, it's not gonna be matchy-matchy entirely. I'm just gonna have to sell it on the runway and get over it. Nobody made any marks about the hairnet not matching. So thankfully I was thrilled. It's like, okay. It just goes to show like you don't have to be so like monochromatic all the time. It's like it was already painting me that I could not find pool noodles in hot pink and I couldn't get these hairnets to match. It's like, you know what, just get over it. It's a gigantic, you know, roller set wig with a gigantic hairnet over it. They're gonna love it. It's camp, it's fun. You gotta get out of your own head sometimes, like, because when you look at it, it's such like a callback to classic camp in the 1990s, like the wig stock set, which is really what I was trying to like draw inspiration from. I think on the runway I said I wanted to be, you know, Lady Miss Keir's hairdresser. That's what you imagine she would look like if you went to that universe. And I feel like I really achieved it. Like I was really happy with how it all came together because it was completely designed by me at this point. Like I stripped apart that catsuit to make something completely mine. And RuPaul even said it herself, if you're gonna get something off the rack, you better glitter the f out of it, okay? And that's exactly what I did. Like I completely took this apart and made it my own and also added so much more to it so it wasn't just a costume off the rack. Like at this point, it was friggin' couture.
And if you are judging me for this, you're classist. What's it like being classist?
Come on, thrift store drag, making it all the way to the runway. Like, y'all keep forgetting I got eliminated first, okay? Like, I don't have that kind of coin to throw around. I was making whatever I could work. For the accessory, I actually made this while I was at Drag Race. Like, they had spray paints on set. So, in our downtime, I had a can of hairspray that I sacrificed, a Tresemme No. 4, which I brought to use. I had to sacrifice it for this because I needed something else to sell it on the runway. Like the costume and the hairnet, I felt like it just wasn't enough. Like I needed something else. So I found hot pink spray paint and I spray painted this hairspray can during my lunch break. And then I realized there's no white paint here. And I needed something, like there's no acrylic paint or anything. And I needed something to create a logo on it. So I took white nail polish and I made a boomerang logo, and with Sharpie, just Sharpied on Rupaul'S and tried my hardest to create like a little caricature of Ru with a really, you know, rundown Sharpie. I don't know why they don't have fine point Sharpies in that workroom. I digress. Like, I feel like it all came together and it gave a good effect when that hairspray started to come out on the runway. Like, I was really pleased. This outfit was completely inspired by like 1990s drag, like classic camp, you know, wig stock, when people would get dressed up in those outrageous ideas, and like the theme is wigs and hair. I wanted to be like the most cartoony hairdresser you ever seen and just really lean into it. And pulling inspiration from things that I love, a lot of my drag does have a tendency to like be a bit of a throwback. And I love those throwback looks from like the 1960s. What a perfect way to tie this in to me, because as far as Net Gala goes, the Net Gala can either get really high camp or the most high fashion. It's really a matter of like bringing yourself into the category. And I thought like, why not celebrate the hairnet? Because that's something I'm known for. I'm known for doing hair, so be a hairdresser. Like, I feel like it really came together, and I was super proud of this look, and I thought it was like a great way to show my creativity. And most of all, this was showing how to make the best of a bad situation. Like, things didn't quite go my way, but I managed to find a way through it and power through it and make it work. Now, I hope you enjoyed hearing about the Net Gala as much as I enjoyed making it. This was truly a labor of love. And I actually am really, really proud of how this whole runway came out, despite all the like things that happened. And at the end of the day, I really love the end result. And I hope you guys did too, because it was a lot of fun putting together despite, you know, the high stress situation. Now, this has been episode 2. I cannot wait to tell you all about the outfits I may have worn on RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 8. Stick around, this is gonna be a fun series, and thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye!
Click here and watch my inspiration for what I wore in episode 1. Or watch Iconic Blondes, Veronica Lake. Come on, click it, you know you want to. If you don't click it, I'll make you wear fishnets to work. So click it!